This is very interesting. Now you have to understand that Caesarea Philippi was a big site. All right? It's a big place. And you say, where is the bus parking? You see some archaeology there. And even below the bus, on the other side too, there is the city itself. But we are standing here looking at the Roman temples and the Roman gods. And the disciples were confused. Why is Jesus taking us all the way here to Herod Philippi territories, which is very pagan territories, and they're only used to the small Jewish towns? This is like, why the Lord? Why are you coming with us all the way here to look at a temple and look around here? You see these niches? There's a niche up there, another niche, another niche. There was huge temples here. If you look at these like images up, reconstructed, the temple will reach up here, huge. And why? They did not get it. But Jesus wants to give them really the end lesson. They want to teach them to understand that He's gonna leave them and they have to do it. So let's read from Matthew 16, starting from verse 13. When Jesus came into the region of Caesarea Philippi. Now we know that Herod Philip had built this Caesarea Philippi. And Herod Philip just beheaded John the Baptist. So Jesus knew that his time is coming soon. So he have to teach the disciples, because he's going to go to Jerusalem, and he knew that he will be crucified. And then he asked his disciples, saying, "Who do men say that I, the Son of Man, am?" So they said, some say John the Baptist, some Elijah, and others Jeremiah or one of the prophets. He said to them, "But who do you say that I am?" And look, he was with them almost a lot of time. And by the way, in the Jewish mindset, you ask questions. If you notice in the bus, I was asking questions. Now I know the answers. Now Jesus knows the answer, but he asked questions in order to explain a point. All right? This is in the Hebraic rabbinical way of teaching. And Jesus was a rabbi, was a teacher. So he asked a question. "But who do you say that I am?" Now Simon Peter answered and said, "You are the Christ, the Son of the living God." Jesus answered and said to him, "Blessed are you, Simon Bar-Jonah." Remember? Bar-Jonah, the son of Jonah. "For flesh and blood has not revealed this to you, but my Father who's in heaven. And I also say to you that you are Peter, and on this rock, in this pagan temple," all right? Not Peter, "on this rock, in the pagan world, I will build my church, and the gates of Hades shall not prevail against it." And this is exactly what happened. Now at this stage, the disciples didn't get it. They didn't understand him. And they don't want him to be crucified even. And after 400 years, all these pagan Roman temples became Byzantine and became Christian. And the church prevailed over the Roman Empire. And the word of Jesus came true. Now, let me expand more to explain for you why did Jesus bring the disciples here. You have to understand a little bit about the Roman gods. Now, a Roman god is sitting inside the temple. He is far away from you. He's like an oracle. You don't see him. You don't touch him. You only hope, you pray, and you hope he might answer your prayers. So people come here to worship this God and not sure that this God will answer them. And they bring the sacrifices. They have to approach this God. But look, with Jesus, this God, he became the sacrifice. It's opposite to the Roman God. He came and walked among people. He came and touched people and healed people. He came to serve, not like the Roman God to be served. And this is why most of the Romans later on accepted his message, because suddenly this God is real. He's walking among them, and he is the one that is healing, and not the Roman God of Asclepius. He is the real healer. And this is why Jesus here brought the disciples for the graduation lesson, but still they failed the lesson. They did not grasp it. They did not understand it. And he declared here that he set his face towards Jerusalem, and he knew that he will never be back. The disciples did not accept that message, but still he was teaching them, and teaching them. And then after here, he went to crucifixion. So that was the last graduation lesson. Now we learn a lesson from here. We should go and prevail. I'm sorry to tell you, churches all over the world, they build their own, like they stay in the church. They don't go outside. Like Jesus' word said, the gates of Hades will not be able to destroy the church. Why? According to Hebraic tradition mindset, in the Talmud, it's written that where is the area of Caesarea Philippi, the cleft, down deep is the gates of Hades. So it's a Jewish teaching that the gates of Hades is in this area, down deep. And this is why he mentioned that these gates will not prevail over the church. So we should learn a lesson to go out of the church, to go out and reach people. Like from here, they went all the way out, and the Roman world turned to be Christian. So this is a lesson to us to go out, all right? And this is what you're doing, going out and reach people to solidify the church and continue what Jesus was teaching.